Welcome to the Art Box, your podcast dedicated to exploring the vibrant art scene in Nevada and beyond. Join us as we embark on a journey through galleries, theaters, studios, public lands, and streetscapes, meeting the artists, curators, archaeologists, nature lovers, and cultural influencers who shape our creative community and our world. Whether you're looking for your next cultural adventure, seeking inspiration for your own artistic pursuits, or simply curious about the world of art, tune into the Art Box. Together, let's open up a world of creativity and imagination. Let's dive in.
Dreams, what if the night is about you and me? So lift your head up to the sky.
Today on the Art Box, we welcome my friend, artist Vanessa, a paper-mâché sculptor whose larger-than-life mask and figures seem to step right out of folklore and imagination. Vanessa is currently serving as artist-in-residence at Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area, where we're recording today, where the dramatic desert landscape provides a stunning backdrop for her creative work. Using humble materials like paper and paste, she builds expressive masks and life-size figures that can carry both theatrical presence and deep cultural meaning. Born in Mexico, Vanessa's journey has shaped stories and imagery found in her work. Through workshops with children and community members, she invites others to discover the magic of transforming simple materials into powerful works of art. From desert inspiration to cultural identity and the timeless human tradition of mask, this conversation explores how art can help us understand where we come from and who we are becoming. So sit back and join us for a conversation with paper-mâché artist Vanessa, right here on the Art Box. Vanessa, This is great. Thank you. Welcome to the Art Box. I've been trying to get you for so long. I see you everywhere.
Yes, I'm everywhere always.
And you know what? Every time I see you, there's always a lot of smiles around here. Always a lot of smiles, particularly kids' smiles.
Yes, and I'm so happy that I'm always out there, and I see you always everywhere too, Steve.
Well, because there's so many people to talk to. There's so many great artists, and everybody does something different.
Steven, and then, so from Mesquite, you go everywhere to all those places? You drive all the way just to do the Art Box?
No, most of the time over the phone. Mm-hmm. But you were here today, and you said okay.
Yes,
so
and I think it's a beautiful setting, no?
Yeah, oh yeah.
We should take a picture at the end with this background.
Yeah, this is a pretty good background, huh? You're artist in residence at
Red Rock Canyon National Conservation Area.
That's it. Yes.
I'm glad we have it today.
Yes. Yes. I want to know about growing up between cultures, okay, because you emigrated from Mexico.
Came here to the U.S. 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Well,
that's still young. You're very young.
Not too young. Like 10 years ago, I was, 34? I was 34.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's young. What do you remember most about that experience? Could you speak English?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
When I was in Mexico, I used to be a teacher, a professor at a university, a public university.
Yeah.
And before that, I worked in logistics for 6 years. So I had to be speaking English all the time. Like on my logistics, I used to work for IBM, doing import-export. Nothing to do like what I'm doing right now. And then I moved to the university, and in there I was I was a teacher, a professor, and then I had like a public arts position. So creating events also inside the university.
Okay.
So I used to like to do my classes bilingual, so the students can also practice, even if they don't. For example, they had the knowledge of English, but they were afraid or ashamed of talking. So in my classes, I will always talk in English. And as a joke, they used to call me Dora the Explorer. The teacher, Dora the Explorer, because I was always mixing English and Spanish in my classes. And I still have really good memories from my old students. I still have some of them on Instagram, and I used to do that programming because I told them, in the future, you will use English very much. And especially the career that I was teaching, it was international business. So we will practice it. And now I see them, I look back and see them, and some of them, they're like in international companies or just traveling around the world. And I remember those kids, right? So mainly that's what I did before coming here. So
It must make you very proud then to keep in touch with your students.
yeah, it makes me proud, and also it makes me proud remembering just seeing them like so young, and now I see them older and having their own families and thriving whatever they are doing right now, right? And still, I have friends still from the university. My ex-boss is my super best friend. So when I moved here, we moved here because in that time, my husband, he lost his 17-year-old job. Like he was in the same company for all that time. So he lost his job. I had mine, and he was a citizen. So we said, let's give it a try. And Mexico got a little bit dangerous there, like with all, a lot of things were happening by that time also. And so we decided to give it a try. And our first stop was Vegas.
Was it really?
Yes.
Your first and last stop?
First and last stop. And then it's so funny. We sold everything we had back there. And we just came with we had a truck. And then we had this truck that when we came here, that brand doesn't even exist here in the U.S. We have a Renault.
Oh, okay.
So to find parts and everything, it was a whole deal. It's like an Europe brand or something like that. I don't know a lot about of cars.
We used to have it when I was younger.
Oh,
yeah,
so it was hard to do the maintenance and all stuff. So at the end, we had to give back the car to take it back to Mexico. So when we came, we just came on the car. My kid, that it's now 12 years old, he was 2 years old.
Oh, he was 2, okay.
And then we drove all the way here.
Yeah.
We drove, and I even remember that whole thing coming here. And, it's hard to leave behind everything because you come to an unknown place and you come with lots of hopes and dreams and just building from scratch a life.
Yes.
I even remember now my husband in that time now, well, it's my ex-husband right now, but we're co-parent and we're best friends.
Good.
I remember his first job. He was fixing stuff on grocery stores, like just restocking. And he came from Mexico being an engineer.
Oh.
And I was a teacher and not being able to work in here because of my legal status. So it's been a long journey. Like now you can see me everywhere and you see me happy and having all these opportunities. For me, that's why for me it's a big achievement just being here. Like the first time I came to Red Rock, I got lost. I told them I got lost. For me, being in nature, it's amazing. And I could not even picture it, that one day I will be here being the artist in residency.
Yes.
And not only here, being on the libraries. When I used to take my little kid to the library to the free programming, I would just see people working and I will be saying, man, how do they get that job? And I cannot apply for any kind of that job, like teaching or doing any kind of what I used to do in Mexico because my legal status in that time. So it was so hard. I remember going to the Discovery Children's Museum and seeing like the instructors of art. And I was like, oh man, I wish I could be doing that.
Yes.
And I was like feeling sad. And in the beginning, I will be crying for months. And I will be telling my ex-husband, like, I just want to go back. It's so hard being here. But there was not an option because Mexico is kind of a hard. Going back, it was a harder picture for us because we're older. And certain ages in Mexico, we don't get hired. And that's a beauty from here, that all ages get an opportunity to get a job. Not in there. If you're older, past a certain age, you're considered like, oh, they usually want like younger people for positions and stuff. So that's why we just had hard times in the beginning, and it's been 10 years. We just we're going to give it a try, and it's been 10 years that we've been here.
Well, it's so sad that you've got all this education and you've got the skills and you've got the drive, and yet you're not even allowed to look for the job.
Steve, I remember one day there was this job for a convention to do some like register people from the convention, and I went and offered my services, but I would just knock doors and I will say like maybe they will give me a chance, right? And so they do like an interview, and then they did like a typing test, like the words that you have to type per hour, per minute. And I passed everything, and when they told me, okay, so now do you have a social security? And I was like, I don't have a social. I remember coming out from that place and crying.
Oh, I bet.
I was crying, Steve, and I was like saying, what am I doing here? You know, but I was being supportive in that time with my husband, saying like, well, he has the chance to find a real nice job because he's a citizen, so he can just find a nice job. And in the meantime, I have to wait because my process it was long, so I had to wait for a long process. So as soon as that happened, that I had my social and then I had my residency, it's when I start going around. Even without having my legal status, I would just go to community centers and offer my services as a volunteer, just giving my job just so they can see what I could do and
you had interest. You had interest in arts and
preserve my traditions. You know, like I was seeing in here, like a lot of people don't know how to do even their own piñata, and it's so easy. Why you have to go and buy and spend like $30 or something when you can do it? Or I was saying like I saw on Halloween how much they spend like on costumes. I was like, you can build your own mask. So that's why I will start offering my courses. Because in Mexico, I took art classes in it's called the Institute of Arts in Guadalajara. So that's where I learned all the techniques. And during my whole lifetime, I practiced a lot. That's how everything started, Steve.
You know, I guess what's so sad now, there's a lot of people like you.
It is.
Were 10 years ago, and there's so much to give, yet they can't give.
It is, and we're a very beautiful community, Steve. Like I always see that my community is so supportive. Like no matter where I'm going to teach a workshop, they're there supporting, and it's because they feel safe, and they can just come and be creative and be themselves. And I wish, like, they can, have all these chances that now I'm free to take, but there's so many people that they have so much talents that they're hiding because they're scared or they're not brave enough to take the chance and say like, I can do it too. And a lot of those things is because it's a sensitive topic, but our legal status, sometimes it's a barrier for a lot.
I try to, look past that, although it's easy for me to say because I'm here. But, so there's the legal status, but then there's the human status.
Yes.
Okay, and what do people feel like? So was art a big thing for you when you were in that not legal status?
Yes. Oh, Steve, without my residency, so I was a stay-at-home mom. So when I was just finishing up my day, that was my to let out all my frustrations and my sadness. I had a room, Steve, full of art.
Did you
because
really?
I will create and create and create. And then one day my ex-husband told me hey, I saw something going on downtown. You want to come and just check it out, right? And we went to the first meeting, that 18B it was called.
Yeah.
So we went for our first meeting, and then I will never forget the rebar. It was on the rebar.
Yeah.
And they had behind the rebar, they had a whole meeting, and we just showed up as a community
Oh, that's
members.
nice, right behind the rebar there. Plus, you can get a sandwich.
So we went there. They had pizza. So we went there, and then my ex-husband told me, like, okay, so tell them you do art. And then I stand up when they say, like, anyone else have something to say? And then I told them, hey, I do art, blah, blah. And the owner from River told me, like, okay, I'm having a showcase next week. I want you to come. And I'll put you a table, and you can just come and bring your stuff. And I told them, I have a lot of stuff in my room. The only thing I want is to show up.
You could have filled up all the rebar.
Yes. And I even remember I gave him a piece. And then that day that I just set up, I was pregnant. I was pregnant from my 8-year-old right now. So he is my lucky charm. I'm always saying, because when he was born, Steve, I got my residency, and then I got all these opportunities. I was the best of show on 2017 with a piece I submitted at Winchester. So we always say Krishna was my lucky charm. From there start everything. But it was, for me, it was very nice. Even if I wasn't with a legal status in here, they didn't care. The owner of the rebar, and he gave me a chance, and he told me, just come, bring your stuff, and showcase it. And I went to the event, and when I was showcasing my things, another person that also I remember his name, and he always, when I see him, I always tell him this, that he helped me. He told me, hey, your pieces can be shown at Winchester down there. And I told him, hey, I don't have a social. And he said, you don't need a social to showcase your art in a gallery.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah. He told me, yes, just go. And so he showed me where was Winchester down there. He sent me the information on my phone, and I entered a piece, and my piece that year won Best of Show.
Did it really?
So that was, I remember vividly when he told me about that place. And when I got there, I was filming every single piece that it was showcasing. And when they say, oh, the Best of Show, and it was Paco, he was the curator of the gallery. And when he said Vanessa Maciel, I was like, what? I was filming everyone else's work. And it was amazing works. It was the best works that I could see. And my piece, I could have never thought it could win. And from there, everything started. I remember Mickey from Clark Public Art.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she told me, like, you know that you can showcase your art, and then you can teach, and you can get paid. And I was like, what? Like, by doing my art? And she's like, yeah. So she also sent me information. So I have, this is so vivid, Steve. Like, it's been 10 years, and I have profound respect for all those people. The owner of the rebar, from this guy that he works on the Review Journal. He's the one that told me about Winchester. And then Paco when he announced it, and then Mickey, and then I met Irma.
Yeah.
And my life changed. It was like my life changed. And now my art wasn't only to not feel sad or depressed, or that I wasn't doing what I really love, but now my art can show people that they can also do it without even having a legal status, or that you can just, with your creations, you can demonstrate other people's that they can showcase their creativity. And it's an escape for us, maybe, creating art, but it's also a way of living. And for me nowadays, I'm always saying it, for me, art saved me from many, many things.
And that's why art's so important.
It is.
And to win the Best of Show, that had to be so affirming.
And I still have my piece, Steve, and I see my piece, and for real, I don't see it beautiful. And I'm still like, man, I'm so lucky. But I always think when things are meant to happen, it's going to happen. And you're just in the right moment, and you meet the right person and the right people, and that's when it happens.
So, well, sometimes, because I don't know about you, but we don't like to think of ourselves as that great.
Yes.
Okay, so eventually, I guess you found now you can pat yourself on the back and say, Vanessa, good job.
Yes. I criticize a lot my work, Steve, like a lot. Like, doesn't mean that, oh, I won best of show and then I shine. No, I've been through a lot of self-criticism and saying that I see those. I've said the first artist that I admire so much, and I was far away thinking that he could even be my friend right now. It was Luis Varela's. When I saw his huge sculptures, I was dreaming one day I want to do a sculpture like him.
Oh, is that Irma's son?
Irma's son.
Okay.
And one of my dreams, Steve, is to do a high-scale sculpture. Like, that's one of my purposes in life. So when I saw his piece on downtown, I was like, man, and then he speaks Spanish. He's Hispanic. And then I met him later, and I saw him like being part of a Netflix show, and I was like, oh, he's famous, and now he's my best friend. Like, he's so cool. Like, I could ask him, hey, Louis, this and that, and he's amazing guy. Like, but as you start, you see like they're famous or they're super respectable artists, and you think, oh no, you cannot even approach them or be friends with them or whatever. So I remember Louis' work, it was the first ones, and then I saw a beautiful mural that I was thinking, man, my work is not even art. Like, I see these beautiful murals on downtown, and I see all these artists. I used to go to every single exhibit and not even knowing anyone, and I would just show up with my kids and just being there because I just wanted to know and see their art. That's why I didn't consider my pieces that they were like in that level. I would always consider I have a long way to go.
Well, they are that level. They're just different.
Very different.
And that's everybody does different art.
Yes.
I don't know that anybody who does paper-mâché does it like you.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very different.
I love the different. About 6-year-old Vanessa, what were you doing when you were 6 years old?
Oh, I always was this creative. You know, I remember when I was little, I loved Halloween and Day of the Dead and holidays.
I associate you with Halloween, yes. The Day of the Dead festival now.
So I remember now I'm super friendly. I have lots of friends, but when I was little, I remember being at home alone, and I would create my own paper. I will cut decorations, and on Halloween I will create like little ghosts and stuff and put it on my windows, and then I will decorate for that. And when it was Christmas, I will create with paper Christmas trees, and I will decorate.
Yeah.
And then I had a little special, like where the sink is, down the sink, it's like a space. I remember that was kind of my little toy house.
Oh, really?
So I will go into my sink,
yeah.
and I will decorate inside there, like for Christmas, for
really?
Yes, but with paper. I would color. I was always creative. And you know what? I was this talkative always. I would talk too much. At school, they would even punish me. Mexico is so different school. So in Mexico, they would tell me like, hey, you talk too much, you're punished. And they would just put me outside. And they would just say like, you talk too much.
Oh, really?
And they would call my parents, oh, she talks too much. So, well, that's how I remember my 6-year-old life.
And that's so wrong?
I have a memory very bad like that, Steve. Like, I wasn't good at math. I wasn't good at school. I was good at creating.
Okay.
But in Mexico, they don't see it like that, right? So this is part of my trauma that I already talk in therapy. But when I was little, they sent a paper home saying that I wasn't good at school. So what the teacher was gonna do, they built a paper. They asked my mom, you should build a paper like a donkey ears. So in Mexico, when you're not good at school, they call you burro. So they said, you need to do a donkey ears for your daughter. And they passed me every single classroom in the whole school in elementary. Really? Imagine that humiliation.
Oh my God.
Now that I think about it, I'm like, how can you just have that in your mind, just humiliating a little
Yes.
kid around school? And when it was, like you do, in here you do the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning. So when they did that, but in the Mexican way, they passed me in the front. And they say, like, she is so bad at school that's why she's wearing her burro ears. That bad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's when
Now
you
you're
say,
laughing about it,
that's
but-
when you said about your friend. I have those memories, and now that's why I try to be a super different mom. To encourage my kids, like, okay, you want to be creative, be creative. You want to sing, sing. You want to dance, dance. You don't want to do nothing, okay, don't do nothing. Because we have to support their different talents. They don't have to be as everyone, right? Or we don't have as parents be pushing our kids to be different or fit into a box.
And we need to celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to celebrate creativity.
Yes.
Because the kids like that, we're creative.
Yes.
I'm so sad. I'm
Nah,
sorry.
it's fine, Steve.
So, but now you're making things better.
Yeah, no, I'm, it's part of life. And I know my kids are gonna go through stuff, and I cannot make them skip those processes, but I'm trying to make it better for them. And I know that I had to go through that stuff so I could be the person that I am right now. Like, now I believe in being creative and not being perfect, just being unique.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, no.
Well, there's some that think they are.
Yes.
So that's 6-year-old Vanessa.
Uh-huh.
So paper-mâché, it's an ancient and humble material.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you create these large, super large. I remember the one at Fremont Street. You were walking around. I sent my wife is like, "Who are you talking to today?" And I sent her a video of you walking around with that on. She's like, "Oh, I want to come." So, how did you first fall in love with paper-mâché?
At school, usually they do festivals for Mother's Day or festivals for Christmas or whatever. So they teach us how to work with paper-mâché or build your piñata. So that's how I started at school. But one day on this Institute of Art that it's on Guadalajara, when I was already working on logistics, I was like, now I need to do
Your
some...
logistics.
That
sounds boring.
Yes, it was so boring. Picture me in
You
logistics.
had to be going crazy.
Well, picture me in logistics. Well, I made it fun.
I bet you were still smiling.
Yes, and I made it fun.
Okay.
I tried. And I have a lot of good friends from that time. So they offered this Katrina workshop. So I went for the Katrina workshop in that institute. And as soon as I touched the paper, Steve, and my hands start creating, I was like, man, I always envy people when they play an instrument and they're so fluent.
Yes.
And then when people sing and it's natural. And I was like, oh my God, this is my gift, maybe, that I can work with paper. So when I saw I could make beautiful things with paper, that's how it started. That's how I took love on making my paper-mâché stuff.
So when you begin a new mask, you're going to start one. Do you already know what you're going to do, or does it kind of build along?
I kind of build alone. Like, I have lots of artist friends that they sketch up, right? They sketch, and then they plan colors that they're going to use and everything. For me, it's just going with the flow. Even with the paper, I always say the paper has to tell me where he wants to go. And that's how I build, how the paper is gonna go. For an example, I built a mountain for this residency here in Red Rock. And now I feel I need a different mountain, not that mountain that I have already.
Yeah.
So it's because of the whole inspiration that I had the past days. Now the mountain that I have, it feels that it has no spirit on it. So now I need a different one. But I never draw, I never sketch, I never plan anything. Just go with the flow.
Okay. Do you ever draw or sketch anyway, or?
No.
Okay, that's not part of your...
And that's kind of my thing. I know that I have to learn how to sketch. And talking about Luis, he showed me, he uses a program because you have to create professional sketches when you're applying for art posts.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember applying for this SAP project, And instead of design it, I create a paper box, I paint the real box, and when I presented at the city of Las Vegas, I presented my physical paint box because that's the way I know. But I know I have to learn more techniques and get more tech savvy and learn all that stuff. But I have to get into it.
So, well, you've got plenty of time. When you're teaching kids, they pretty much, I'm watching the adults here, and I'm sure they all started with, well, a couple of people I talked to, I'm not good, oh, I'm terrible, this is going to be terrible.
All the time.
I don't think kids approach it like that, do they?
No.
They don't have any fears?
Well, you know, a lot of kids have different personalities, and I face some kids saying like, hey, I cannot build. And once you tell them, you don't have to build a perfect piece or a realism piece. Just go with the flow and go wherever your hands and your heart feels. Then it's when I see them that they overcome that kind of a thinking.
Yeah.
But it's easier to break that thinking on a kid than into an adult. Because as adults, we want to make perfect stuff or to make a very realism pieces. And I always tell them, if you're gonna build a dog, what about if you build a dog mixed with a sheep, right? Like, you don't have to build a perfect dog. And those little talks while we are doing the art class, it helps them to erase all those barriers that, yeah, you're right, I can be able to do it. I had one student, this is an adult, so she was on my past mask making program, and she was like, I cannot build, I never build anything. And I told her, just go with the flow and do whatever you feel like doing it. At the end of the program, she made a mask that even had lights on.
Really?
Lights.
Yes.
It lighted up. And I even told her, I cannot even do that kind of mask because it's representing your own self. And at the end is what I tell them. When you're creating any piece, even if it's a piñata, it's not going to be the same piñata that it's hanging on a store.
Right.
It's your own
Yes.
self-represented as a piñata. And that's the whole difference that it makes on adults and kids. And at my regular job, I work with mental health people. And it's so hard at the beginning because, you know, well, they're under a lot of circumstances that it's hard for them. So, but if you build that confidence during the class, at the end, you should see the pieces that they build, just with paper-mâché. I wish, because it's a private hospital where I work, and you cannot display any of their work, but you should see, Steve. It's a HIPAA violation if we show any of their information and stuff. So you should see, I've seen in there the most beautiful elephant. One day, one of my patients built an elephant, and I told him, I want to take it home. It's so amazing. And at the beginning, they didn't want even to touch the paper.
Yes,
but you build little by little the confidence of telling them, just take away your barriers, take away the thinking that you can build anything, and then you will see what your hands are able to do.
How's that feel for you going home after work, after seeing that?
I'm so lucky, Steve. Like, you know, going back in that Vanessa 10 years ago, coming here, and now the Vanessa that I am able to work with people, being out there in the community, man, I'm so lucky. Like,
well, I think we're lucky too.
we are.
I'm showing all of Las Vegas and Southern Nevada. We're lucky.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
Yeah, we're lucky to have you. Because
Steve.
wherever you go, there's smiles.
Thank you, Steve.
Well, I don't want to keep you much longer because your boys
I
are.
have my kids there doing a whole mess.
Yeah, they're fine, but I don't want to get you in trouble with them. So I ask you the last question.
Yes.
What's inspired you recently?
Well, usually my inspiration is here, Red Rock. I live 10 minutes away from
do you?
him.
Okay.
Yes. So as soon as I came to Vegas, I saw the desert, and where I live, I don't have a desert in Guadalajara. So for me, my inspiration when I'm like kind of stuck, I just come and walk. And until my body feels so tired, my mind is so clear. And then I go home and I start like building nonstop. because I leave everything in here, like stress. We have the daily work at home or your job or whatever. And in here, it's my inspiration, nature. I just sit down, I just ground, I just put my bare foot on the mountains and just walk and do some grounding. I just touch every single rock. I always think they have a whole story to tell us, and I always touch them and I tell them, like, give me some inspiration and tell me what to do. Like, all nature for me, it's inspiration.
That's good. I love that. So, do you sleep well at night?
Every night. Oh my God, Steve, I need more hours to sleep.
Yeah. Well, if there was 48 hours in a day, we'd complain that we still needed more hours. But I can just guess, I think you're going all the time. So you're exhausted at night.
Yes.
So, well, Vanessa, you're a beautiful person inside and out.
Thank you.
And I just could hardly wait to do this. And I hope we can do this again.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
And thank you, Steve, because since I met you on I forgot the name of that reunion that we went, and I was hugging you all the time, and I was like, Steve this, Steve that. And it was the Nevada Arts Council where we went on to Ely, Nevada. Remember that we had that event there?
Yeah, that was the BRX. Basin and Range Exchange.
Yes, I'm really bad with names, but I always remember. In there, I was like, Steve this and Steve that, because always that I meet someone, I feel a connection with the people. And I feel an instant connection because you were so kind.
Thank you.
And so friendly. And so opening and welcoming. So since then, I'm like, my friend Steve is here.
Oh, yeah, because I remember, you were, yes. I remember you were,
Yes.
You were making your things back there.
Yes.
You were showing them. Yes. Yeah, that was a really good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Michelle Patrick.
And
she told me that's her favorite thing, BRX.
Yeah,
she loves BRX.
And then you meet all these amazing artists. And I had friends that I met there that usually I don't meet them here in Las Vegas, and then I made good friends in there.
Well, do you have a piece in Candace Garlock's Honeycomb?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I did it. That time I did 2 pieces. I have 2 little pieces there.
Yeah, so you and I are in that.
Yes, we were in the same event.
Yes, Michelle asked me if I would speak at the Intersections Conference in late May.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things I'm going to ask about is who has a piece in Candace Garlick's, and I want to see how many hands come out.
Yeah, I think we're a lot.
Because there's a lot.
Yes, it's a lot of people. And I want to see it live here when it comes here in Vegas right now.
Yeah.
Right now, where is it, Steve? I think it's in...
Oh, it's at Basin and Range.
Oh, okay.
No, Basin and Range. Great Basin College.
Great Basin?
Yeah, I got to see it there. I was up there for cowboy poetry.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I want to see it when it's here.
Yeah, that's why I asked her. She said, it'll be there. But I'm going to Reno at the end of the month to see there's 6 poet laureates from the Western states. I'm going up there for a 2-hour session. I think I'm crazy.
And then you're driving it?
I'm drive up and I'm going to drive back.
I have drive there because to go to Burning Man, so I know the drive.
Oh, you've been to Burning Man?
Yes, twice.
Oh, yeah, your stuff would go great at Burning Man.
Twice.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I'd like to go to Burning Man
It's
sometime.
amazing, Steve. You got to go.
Yeah, I was going to ask for a grant. Well, Nevada Arts Council sent me there to interview people.
Yeah, that'll be amazing. Yeah. Imagine having
I don't think they will, but I got to do that sometime. Vanessa, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Steve.
And we'll see you around.
We will see each other around. Thank you, Steve, for having me.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap for this episode of the Artbox Podcast. We're recording from our home studio inside the Mesquite Steam Center, right here in the beautiful Mojave Desert, where creativity and curiosity meet under wide open skies. From the written word and poetry to collage, brush art, pencil, ink, fabric, and pottery, from theater and song to archaeology in our public lands, we celebrate the many ways creativity shows up in the world around us. You can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Boomplay, or your favorite podcast app. We'd love to hear from you. Find us at theartboxpodcast.com. Drop us a note anytime at artboxvv@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, follow, and subscribe. And don't forget to tell your friends so they can join the conversation too. Most importantly, Take a moment to follow and support the artists and creative souls who join us here, because their stories are what make the Art Box come alive. This is Daisy, and until next time, keep creating, keep exploring, and keep sharing your story.